Hey, and welcome back to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures. On the map before you, you will see a number of small blue place marks. Each marks a location of importance to one family synonymous with the Wild West. Can you guess the theme of today's video?
One of my favorite things about Wild West Adventures is visiting the final resting place of history's most infamous. In fact, that's how I got started on doing these adventures. It was all because of a little gunfight. Perhaps you've heard of it? The gunfight at the OK Corral. I started by visiting the grave sites of those directly involved in the gunfight, Tom and Frank McLaury and Billy Clanton, and Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan Earp and their friend Doc Holliday. But then it blossomed out to wives and families, friends and associates. Pretty soon, I was playing 6 Degrees of Wyatt Earp. In honor of Wyatt Earp Days, which is held every Memorial Day weekend in Tombstone, I thought it might be nice to invite all of my viewers to join me on a virtual tour of the Earp family's grave sites. Because we do things a little differently here at Miss Kitty's, we will be showing these grave sites in the order of death, so forgive us if we bounce around geographically a little bit.
First, we have Wyatt's half-sibling, who is alternatively listed as Mariah Ann, a girl, or Nathan Thomas, a boy. He or she was born in February 1839 and died on December 13th of that same year in Ohio County, Kentucky. This was the second and last child of Nicholas Earp and Abigail Storm. Next up is Martha Elizabeth Earp, who is the third child of Nicholas Earp and his second wife, Virginia Ann Cooksey. Martha was born in September of 1845 and died in May of 1856. She is buried at the Pella Cemetery in Davis County, Iowa. Now we have Virginia Ann Earp, the sixth child of Nicholas and Virginia. Young Virginia was born in February 1858 and died on October 26, 1861. Interestingly, 20 years to the day before the gunfight that made her brothers famous. She is also buried at the Pella Cemetery in Davis County, Iowa. The family had a string of good luck for the next 20 years, as the next one to go into the ground was Morgan Seth Earp. He was born in April of 1851 and was assassinated in Tombstone in March of 1882 as fallout from his participation in the gunfight. He is buried at the Hermosa Garden Cemetery in Colton, California. In January of 1893, the second matriarch of the family succumbed after already losing 3 of her own children. Virginia Ann Cooksey Earp was born in 1821 and is buried at the Pioneer Memorial Cemetery in San Bernardino, California. Warren Baxter Earp, who was born in March of 1855, was shot and killed in Willcox, Arizona in July of 1900. Interestingly, he is the only Earp to be buried in Arizona. You can visit his grave at the Old Willcox City Cemetery. And if you would like to know more, be sure to watch my video on the other Earp brother. Older brother Virgil Walter Earp was born in July of 1843 and died, relatively peaceful, in October of 1905. He succumbed to pneumonia at the age of 62 in Goldfield, Nevada. He is buried at the Riverview Cemetery in Portland, Oregon. Family patriarch and war hero Nicholas Porter Earp was born in September of 1813 and passed away at the ripe old age of 94 in Sawtell, California. He is buried at the Los Angeles National Cemetery. Older brother, but still not the eldest, James Cooksey Earp, was born in June of 1841 and died in January of 1926. He is buried at Mountain View Cemetery in San Bernardino, California. Eldest and often forgotten brother, Newton Jasper Earp, was the half-brother of the more infamous brothers and the eldest of the Earp siblings. He was born in October of 1837 and died in December of 1928. He is buried at East Lawn Memorial Park in Sacramento, California. The most famous of all the brothers, Wyatt Barry Stapp Earp, was born in March of 1848 and died at his home in January of 1929. He was cremated and his ashes buried at the Hills of Eternity Memorial Park in Colma, California, where there are reportedly more dead residents than the living. Last, but certainly not least, is Adelia Douglas Earp. She was the baby of the family, having been born in June of 1861. She lived on until January 1941, and she is buried in Mountain View Cemetery in San Bernardino. Interestingly, this grave provides a sneak peek into a future episode. Do you see it?
Be sure to stay tuned because Miss Kitty is going to keep exploring. We're going to visit the wives and families of the Earps and Holiday. Then we're going to flip to the other side and explore all of the grave sites on the Clanton and McClowry side. If you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button, just like Holiday liked his whiskey. Be sure to subscribe to Miss Kitty's Wild West Adventures, and I'll catch you on down the trail.